woman.
Love it.
But I do want to ask you, I really want to keep it about you.
Okay.
I just want to know about you, like what's your story? And I know a little bit about your story, but like I'm really intrigued by the woman side of things, being a woman and being the wife of Grant, and in these meetings and constantly meeting these billionaires and like, you know, successful people. How do you handle that? Like being a woman, because I'm a woman and I know what it's like when I'm in meetings with like successful men, and, you know, I get really intimidated and they look at me like, who is this like woman?
Do you get
Does she even
intimidated?
know? I do a little bit. Like, who is this woman? Does she know what she's talking about? Like, why am I dealing with her? So like, how do you challenge that? Like, what's the challenges that you have? Yeah, just being a woman, like being in front of successful men and making decisions, you know, executive decisions, just being a woman. Like, what's the difference, or what's the struggles that you've had?
Being around powerful men, I've always kind of been able to hold my own in that area.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to prove myself.
Yeah.
And I don't have an animosity toward men.
Yeah.
I think maybe sometimes if people approach men with, I have to prove myself, or I have to be no more, or I like they have this thing against men, it creates a thing. I don't have that thing. Men have always been my mentors in life with just about everything I've ever wanted to do, like, you know, my shooting the guns and the martial arts, and Grant's been my mentor in business, and I had a male acting instructor. So I've had a lot of men in my life mentor me, so I don't have animosity towards men, first of all. And then when I'm in these business meetings with Grant, you know, I understand my role in that relationship and in that business room. I'm not an executive in the company, in our company. Grant runs all the business and whatnot. So when I sit in these meetings, I'm doing something a little different than maybe what Grant is doing. I'm observing who the person is. I'm reading, I'm observing, I'm listening to what they're saying, I'm listening to what they're not saying. I'm writing, I'm taking notes about the details. I don't try to claim to know something or be an expert or chime in with an opinion, because oftentimes I'll look like a fool, like I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'll make notes. What about this and this and this? And later I'll go to Grant and mention that, and he's like, "Oh, that's a great idea," or "No, that wouldn't work." But I don't try to chime in and try to be something that I'm not. And it's not that I'm trying to like, oh, I don't know, I'm a woman. It's just, that's just where I'm at. No matter where I'm at in life, I have to know my strengths and weaknesses and where I'm really at authentically. And when you're just real with people, I think you get treated with respect and a realness, because people can see through things. Absolutely. You know, and if I try to show or be something I'm not, that's when you get called out and people want to challenge you, or just think, oh, she's just some girl trying to butt in and be a big shot. I'm not interested in having to prove myself to anyone, so I don't really run into a whole lot of those kind of problems.
Because I seen an interview that you did, and you really talked about, I take my hat off to women. Yeah. I really do. I look up to women. Like, it's hard being a woman.
My God.
It's so hard.
So hard.
And when you were saying that, I was like, I related to that, because I was like, I've been in business like really young. I started really, really young, and I grew up in a single mum household. So I'm really the alpha. Like, I'm all male inside, but, you know, I look like a female. So like I really relate to you, and like when you were talking, I was like, that's so true, because I struggle with that on a daily basis, being a woman in business constantly. So when you say, I take my hat off to women, what does that mean? Like, what's the struggles you have?
I mean, as a woman?
Yeah, like why do you look up to women, and why is it so hard being a woman?
Because look at our physical bodies. For whatever reason we were created like this. We have our nails, our hair, we have all these things that maybe guys think, and maybe some women enjoy this, but some guys are like, oh, she gets to run off and do her spa. These are not luxuries to me. These waste time. I don't like having to go sit and be still to get my hair done, to get my nails done, so I can look good and have to keep up and maintain and
hard,
worry about
yeah.
aging and all these kind of things that we put on
Yeah.
ourselves, society puts on us. I mean, we just get judged whether it's right or not. We get judged by our appearance, maybe more than men. So I mean, just that aspect alone is hard being a woman. And then there's parts about being a woman that I think men will never understand. It's just not in their nature to understand all that we do, looking after our business, our family, running the family, making it look effortless. All the stuff that we do so many times gets overlooked by men. They don't understand what it is we do, and they don't value it as we would like to be valued. I don't think they see it and appreciate it as much as we want to be acknowledged for it. And that's all it is like just a little acknowledgement. Like, do you get it?
Yeah.
And the worst part is like acting like you do nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's when you want to kill them. But
most women in like successful relationships, like let's be real, you don't really see women taking action and doing something for themselves.
In successful relationships?
Yeah, most successful relationships, I don't really see.
No, I don't know. I disagree. I think if you're in a successful relation, the more of the successful relationship that you're in, I think the woman has to take care of herself, or she'll go crazy.
But they don't sometimes.
Like who? Give me an example in a successful relationship.
So I think they are the core behind a successful man. I believe that. A lot of people don't see behind the scenes of what they actually do. But what I mean by a lot of successful males, I'm not going to name names, have women that do a lot of things behind the scenes, but they are clearly with a successful man, so they're clearly capable of doing something to, they've got a lot of potential to do something or take action in something, like write a book or be a public speaker.
Oh, and they don't do that. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Or go in partnership with their husband and, build an empire.
Right.
Doing business, like taking action.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of females or wives doing a lot behind the scenes, taking care of the family and nurturing the husband, making sure he's okay, but not really
doing their own thing.
Not in the public eye, like I'm an author.
Right.
I'm an actress, or I'm a public speaker, and I'm all about women. I'm building an empire with my husband, and you're about that.
Yeah, but I wasn't like that for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't have been like that for 10 years. I had to, and the role that I had in the family was to create a distraction-free, positive environment for him to flourish in, so that we could grow our empire. It was selfish phase for us at that point. I was still learning. I couldn't really do more because I was so focused in building our thing. I couldn't have done more. I mean, I didn't have it in me. I didn't have the wealth of experience that I have now. I didn't have something to impart of all the mistakes and the learning that I had done. I didn't have it back then. It's only to the point now where I feel like I have that whole thing up and running. I feel like the kids are old enough now. I actually feel I have a product.
Yeah.
I have a product to not just a fire. I've always had a fire, but I have a product to exchange with other people to help fast track that person that I was 10 years ago. If they're in my situation 10 years ago, I have now something that I want to impart for others so that you can get here faster than it took me. So that's why I feel obligated now to share this information and to come out, and that's why I'm doing my own brand because now I can. Now we have this thing up and running. It's kind of running itself now. You know what I'm saying? The empire is.
So you've got time to take that on.
Yeah, I have the time to take that on. I have the responsibility to take that on, and so these other women that are in these relationships, it just might not be their thing. If they're really supporting and building their family thing, they just might be at that phase in their life where they don't want to be an actress, or they don't want to go be a CEO of a business. They want to run the family. And for me, one of the things, my personal opinion, the most important job in the entire world for me is being a mother. I mean, I can't think of any parent in the world that wouldn't give up or do anything if their kid's life was threatened, So a mother, to be able to rear loving, competent, contributing members of society, you know, that is what creates our future race and culture and society. So if you really take on the role as a mother and really wear that hat well, I mean, to me, that is the most unacknowledged job in the world. Like, oh, you're just a mother? Why aren't you also doing business? Oh, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm rearing 2 humans to go out and be incredible humans in the world. Like, that's not enough. Like, oh my God, that, like, I hate when people say, I'm just a mom, or I'm just a this, like a housewife, or I don't even I like that word, you know, like, what are you doing? You're home watching soap operas all day? I mean,
probably.
I don't know. I don't think they are, though. Not these powerful women. I don't think powerful
but
men.
I think people see
That's what they assume.
Yeah.
That's what they assume. But I don't think
mothers though.
Huh?
I think people assume that because they're not a mother. Do you think?
But even the woman that runs any woman in a powerful relationship, I've never seen it any other way. I'd be willing to be wrong on this. I certainly don't know all the planet, but every single powerful man that I have met that has been married to a powerful woman, she is not a loaf.
Yeah.
She is not. She is like, wow. She
I
is
agree.
a powerful woman. She is not
agree.
a doormat. I don't think these powerful men want to be with a doormat. You know, they might want to sleep with a doormat, but they, you know, don't want to marry. That's right.
Have a life.
Right.
Build an empire.
Right.
Basically. All that. Interesting. And I want to bring it back to when you say you're really building this on your own at the moment, and this is your time to shine and really be yourself in your own personal brand. I was looking up on Google and I tried to figure out how many staff do you guys have at the moment? Like, what's the team behind you? Because, you know, you can't build something on your own, right? There's a team behind you.
Yeah.
How big's this team?
Behind me personally or the company?
The company overall, like how many people?
Well, I think we have about
What's the
100.
army?
I think it's I don't know. It's like around 500, I think, in total with all the businesses. We have 150 employees just at our offices in Miami, but then we have the real estate management and the Cardone. Anyway, all the other businesses combined, but you know.
So 500 total.
Yeah, approximately.
And obviously, building a team is so important, and finding people is so important. What's the processes and systems you have in place to find these people, to find talent? I mean, are you doing it through HR? Are they posting out jobs?
Yeah.
How many interviews are you doing? Like, does it go by gut feel?
The company does all the interviews, and they have the processes and where they send out the call to action for that we're looking for jobs. Anyone can write careers at grantcardone.com, send a 30-second video. We look at videos, we don't look at resumes. I think everyone lies about their resume. I just want to see the person. Can they do a 30 or whatever we ask for, 30 or 60 second? This is part of the interview. I'm just telling you right off the bat.
I love it.
This is one of the processes. If we say do a 30-second video and I get a 3-minute video or a 1-minute video, I automatically know that in whatever role I put you in, you will not duplicate what I asked for. You will complicate it or add a bunch of stuff I don't want. That's good for me to know as an employee. I just want to know if I say 30-second video, can you duplicate that and give to me a 30-second video? So if you do that, I mean 30, 32 seconds, I'm not like, you know, but so I mean and I looked, are they professional? A woman sends an interview in a bikini on a beach, like it's just not professional. Like, what is that? Like, do you not have sense to send in a video that is professional? You have a gorgeous body, I'm not taking that away from you, but it's not right for me. I don't want. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's so many things I get just from that alone. Then there's an interview process, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then people work for us. And then, you know, the other thing is you just have to hire a lot of people. And sometimes you realize who stays, who's got to go, you know, and you don't get worried about losing people so much anymore. You just keep acquiring people, and the good talent will stay, and
bad talent will go.
That's right.
And do you believe in hire slow, fire fast? Is that
high slow? What does that mean?
Hire slow. So, like when you're hiring somebody, take your time with actually finding great talent.
No.
Whether it's going to take. No, you don't believe in that. And then fire fast.
Fire fast. Yeah, I believe in fire fast. Absolutely, I believe in fire fast. I'm
like
as naive.
Like a week?
Oh, wait, what do you mean fire fast?
Like
if
fire
I
fast,
see,
so like if you hire great talent and you're like, yes, this woman is going to dominate our sales, like,
and they don't do that?
and they come in and you just like start seeing things that are just not aligning with what they
Yeah,
how
they gotta
were
go.
in the interview, right?
Yeah, gotta go.
This happens all the time.
Yeah, well, first of all, you
what's
gotta get them either the proper hatting or training of what you
course,
want, and you got to go through all those processes because people are going to have to go through that whole, But then if there's let's say they're on a 90-day period and they're still not producing, then they got to go. Yeah, I mean, if they're making gross errors and whatnot, for sure. I mean, those people though. They're dangerous. They're toxic. My biggest mistake on that is you keep them around for too long because you don't want to have to worry about trying to hire somebody and they're kind of doing their job good enough, but you're so busy you can't take the time to rehire somebody else, but they're messing up and they're not right, and then they end up polluting your other people, and now you got 4 people unhappy with you because now they're talking a bunch of crap about you. They're not doing their job. They've been cheating. They've been stealing a little money here. You find out all the stuff that they've been doing wrong that you didn't see after the fact. But now my attention has to come over here and off of my target because now I have to deal with the interior problems of the organization, and I have to get rid of that person and fix all of these people and then rehire and so it's now taking my attention off of my thing. So that's why these people now, I'm usually the one that's like, they've got to go, and the office is like, whoa, slow down, Nellie, because I want to get them out because otherwise if you let it go, I see the bomb it sets off and how it takes me off target, and it's more of a distraction than just feeling that momentary pain of having to go find somebody and retrain somebody and reinvest in somebody, blah, 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 blah.
Time, energy, money lost.
Yeah, but it's better to just do that fast, and so I can stay focused over here.
And culture is really important as well. Like if you've got that bad apple, it can ruin a whole team.
Oh, it happens every time.
All the time.
It's not it does.
Yeah,
it's like the rotten fruit starts spoiling everything.
Yeah. What's your training processes? So when you have somebody that comes into your team, is it like a 2-week program? Is it like a month program?
No, it all depends. It all depends, and I don't run the HR department, but it all depends. I know with the sales guys, they get, and I think it's like this, don't quote me on this, but this is an example. I think they're on a 90-day trial period, so they'll get a commission for, not a commission, a check or salary, whatever you want to call it, paycheck for those 90 days, and then after the 90 days, then they're on their commission-based and whatnot. And then other people, the accounting department or this or that, like for instance, my assistant, we hired my assistant, Raquel. We had interviews with her. I had interviews with other people that were more qualified. I liked her, and so I was like, I want her. And then there was other people in the office that were like, look, she's really great at blah, 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 but she's not good at she's had no training in, executive assisting, like running your errands and getting this and being on top of people and doing the follow-up and blah, blah, blah. She doesn't know that. So I talked to her. I was like, she's like, I'm all willing to get coached through this, but they're all right about that. So they wanted to they didn't want to hire her for me. And I was like, I'm hiring her. What's the solution? They're like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hire her, and then she has a 2-month period to figure it out with you. And if not, and you don't want her anymore, then we're going to go put her over into the like media or graphics or whatever department. So she'll have that job there. But she worked out and she's been fantastic, and she's still my assistant, and I'm very happy. But there's different,
though, right?
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, it's more, I could tell. I can read people pretty good. I've made mistakes. I've made mistakes, which, always leads you to question yourself when you make a mistake. But for the most part, I have a very high track record of being more right than wrong.
Yeah, and it's always good to go by gut feel, right? It's like if you feel like this person's amazing, just take the risk and do it.
I mean, yes, I go by gut and intuition a lot, but I also I have observations that I know what I'm looking for, so I don't have to just go on gut, because some people are very good at being a sheep in wolf's clothing, and I'm naive. I know that's part of my weakness, so I can't just depend on how nice somebody is or how cool they are or how much I vibed with them. I can't always go by that. I have to look at other things. I have to run everything that they're saying through am I being naive filter. I have to run everything through what like it's too many to tell you right now.
I know. No,
you know, it's like I told you, the 30-second video. Can they give me a 30-second video? I have those kind of checks and balances, but a whole list of criteria.
Small things count. It's like, do a 30-second video. If you can't do a 30-second video, clearly it's not going to work.
Right.
And the small things count.
Yeah, it's just little things that I look for, like in just different areas.
I like how you do the videos though, because CVs are so outdated.
Yeah.
Yeah, resumes.
Yeah,
like,
now
so
who's got time to read a resume?
So
Everyone has.
And they're like 5 pages long, 2 pages, and then they write a whole cover letter on why they want to work for you. I said, just do a video. Like,
the video is the best.
What's you know? I want to see why you're passionate, why you want to work for us. You know, more than this is why I want to work.
Right.
CV.
I just want to get the essence of the person. You know.
Absolutely. And to retain the staff, are you really culture focused around, you know, doing team outgoing?
No.
Like, you don't do anything like that?
We don't do team outings and things like that, no. Really? But every single morning at 9:05, exactly on the dot, 9:05, the whole organization has a meeting. Everyone is there, and all we talk about in the meeting is anything positive. We go over the stats, you know, all the wins. We acknowledge the different departments. We read success stories. We get reconnected to who we are as a culture and a brand and what we're doing and the impact that we're making and how we're helping people every day. And we go, that's how we start the staff meeting every single day. So every day, Monday through Friday.
Wow. Every single day.
Every single day. That's and amazing. Everyone's pumped up and they're cheering, and that's just our culture.
I think I've seen a YouTube video of Grant doing that. And like writing on the board, and and
we're and so we all get a chance to get realigned with the purpose, the mission, and you know, it helps with okay, I had to deal with that jerk on the phone, and this person who told me no, and this person who slammed the door. Every morning they get reminded, I saved somebody's life here. We get success stories. You changed my life. I can feed my family. I took my business from nothing to something. People have called us in. They were homeless, living in cars with their children, to now living in a 3-bedroom apartment. I mean, so when you hear that, you go, this is why I deal with this. This is why I have to follow up with this person. Because even though they don't want it and they think it's a bad thing now and they close the door on my face, it's my responsibility to call them back and go, we can help. This is the product. And you know what? Usually on the 8th time, they close them.
But that's amazing.
You know?
That's really, truly amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching an interview and I was looking at what you were saying. So I think this person asked you, what is your mission? What's your outcome? Like, what is truly going to make you happy? And you said helping people. That's more than anything else.
Yeah, that is.
Anything, like, I just want to make an impact on somebody's life.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
Just like you said, like, you know, fast forwarding what I know and helping them.
Right. Yeah. Because
succeed, right? You know?
Yeah. I mean, Grant and I don't live in a world of scarcity. Just because you have success doesn't mean it's going to take away my success. You know, so I want people to succeed. I want to be around people who can afford things. I want to go on a nice trip with friends.
Yeah.
You know, I want other people in my life doing well. I don't want people worried about money. Like, maybe worry about something else, but not finances and figuring out the relationship aspect and all that. Like worry about making a difference and how can you pass it on rather than trying to survive.
And what is your mission still that? You still want to just make an impact on people's lives?
Yeah. I want
on the world? Yeah. You want to reach 7 billion people, right?
Yeah.
That's what you said?
Yeah.
I want to reach 7 billion people. Yeah. I'm crazy and I'm going to do it and it's going to happen.
I don't know if it is, but that's what I work for.
Yeah.
I want to be that person. I want to be the hero to myself. I want to be that person that represents all the me's of the world that were, you know, really a ginormous being trapped in a little tiny body called a human being that isn't supposed to do much, that's supposed to be a victim of the world and circumstance and everything that happens, but yet defies that and can make life happen and create opportunities and create the life that you want is possible. I want to represent all those little me's and all those me's that are really just giant beings waiting to just hear the right thing that just lets you go free of those slave chains that have been put on us by who? I don't know, but they're there.
I know.
You know,
Yeah,
society or whatever,
absolutely.
all those antiquated ideas that you thought were yours but aren't yours.
Yeah.
You know, how do you become free enough to think, who am I and what can I do? And how do I become an asset? How do I make a difference? How can I achieve what I want done? How can I make myself happy? You know, happiness isn't just sitting on a beach and soaking up some rays. Yeah, you create your happiness by fulfilling your goals. That's what makes you happy.
Potential, right? Humans, we have so much potential. Like it's
$1,000,000%.
incredible.
Look at what we did. There's buildings over there. We're living in buildings. There's boats that can float on water. I'm looking at a plane. How does a plane stay in the air? It baffles me every single time.
Smallest things, but it's truly.
Yeah, look what we can do. Of course, it's not just for the select few.
No, I agree. Is there anything that you want to talk about? I keep asking questions. What is it that you want to talk about? Like, is there anything that nobody has asked you that you just want to talk about at all?
I mean, not really. Sometimes I come across a question and I'm like, oh wow, I'm like, wow, I've never heard that one before. It's interesting, you know.
And I don't want to ask the same questions around like your relationship with Grant and things like that and all that type of thing. I think it's just more of you as a woman, and I know a little bit about your story, but even if you could just touch on like how you grew up in New Orleans and like you grew to this woman you are now and marrying a beast, you say.
That's right. He is.
And you know, living with him and just who you are now, like what's the story like in say 1 minute? Like what's the story of Elena?
Well, the story of Elena is this girl that grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, as a rebel. You know, I was fluttery. I went off. Anytime a situation got too intense for me or was too much drama, I disappeared. Poof. You couldn't hold on to me. I was gone. I was like, oh no. And Grant was always this rock that I could he wouldn't, no matter what I did or how crazy I was or how non-committal or whatever, he would just be that rock and just be there and not make me wrong or get mad at me or judge me or whatever. Anyway, so he was just perfect for me. And so once I realized, okay, this is the guy that, okay, I'm going to go all in on, that's when I had to look at all these ideas that I thought were mine that weren't mine, like the independence, the rebel, the can't depend on a man, where does all that come from? I'm like, who am I? And what are my thoughts on the thing? How do I really feel about it? I had all these women's kind of lib kind of attitude that I'm fighting for and representing, and I don't even know the women. They're like, where are they? They existed in my head. Like, who are they? Who am I fighting for? Who are these women? You know, why am I living a miserable life to go be this person that you want me to be, and I don't even know who you are, and I don't even know if that's what you want from me. And so I looked at all of that and I said, you know, this is who I am. Figured out who I am and who am I with my man and what are we going to do together. And I just got so sold onto that idea and not all these pretend people, and just started to become real. And that's when I realized, wow, I became really strong and powerful and found my true power as a woman, and it was a man that led me there. Wow. Which is how I least expected it. Wow. And in giving up, quote unquote, my independence, I actually became more independent because I'm dependent on a man and he is dependent upon me. And I don't see anything wrong with that. It's a beautiful thing. We each do our jobs in this relationship really well. So that's who I am now. I've evolved. I have a story. I know who I am. I work really hard. I have a message. I have a brand. I have information now that whether you like me or you don't like my looks or you want to critique or pick me apart about anything else, I just have statistics now in certain area that no matter how you feel about me, you can't argue with my statistics. You can't say, that doesn't exist. That's a fact. I created that. I helped build that. I have this, I have that, I have that. You can't attack it. It is what it is. Exactly. And when you create those kind of products, it's like, you know, if you become a world champ and you get the belt and you did it legitimately without drugs or whatever, you get those Super Bowl rings and you didn't cheat or whatever, no one can take that away from you.
Absolutely not.
And you know what it took to get there. and you have information to tell other young players that are trying to get there how to get there, you know? So it would be irresponsible of me at this point to keep that to myself and be selfish because I don't like all the other stuff that comes along with it.
And it's really interesting you say that, because that's like your end goal, like reaching 7 billion people. Like, that's what I want to do. That's like, you know, where I want to be. And then you talk about revenue. I think there was a thing where you said you've created over $1 billion of portfolio in real estate.
1.2 assets. 1.2 assets under management.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go really. That's in the last couple months, but yeah, it's going to go up to 1.4 really soon.
Wow.
Yeah.
And in 5 years, 10 billion.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Grant was saying to somebody the other day, I'm not thinking big enough. Like, why not 100 billion? Why not 200 billion?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just not thinking big enough. Do you feel the same? That you're just not thinking big enough?
Totally.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Are you like 10xing your thoughts? Like, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, I want to think like crazy. Like, I want to, like, what's your thoughts? Like, what are you thinking on a daily basis when you wake up? Like, what motivates you? Like, what's this fire? Because I can see that you've just got so much. Even when you talk, your passion and the way your tonality and your movement, it's really inspiring. Like, how does this, like, how do you stay this person? Like, so hungry and so driven, and this is what I want to do, and I want to reach 7 billion people, and I'm going to make 100 billion, and like, how does that come along on a daily basis?
On a daily basis.
You don't stop working. You've made it super clear. Like, I don't stop. I'm in a day spa. I'll be on my phone.
It's not that I'll be on my phone when I'm getting a massage, but I'm in my head and I'm working in my head.
Right.
And I'm figuring things out, and I don't shut off.
Like,
I don't need to shut off. Maybe other people need to shut off. I don't need to shut off.
Is it because you have such big?
Yeah, it's
thoughts,
because look, I'm here for
yeah.
like 80 years, 90 years. Even if I live to 100, that's do you know the blip of the entire universe that doesn't even register on any sort of time meter. It's like so fast. You think our lives are so important, but when you compare it to like the greatness and the vastness of what really exists, it's like, come on. So I mean, I can have a break later if I need a break. I don't need a break. I'm trying to make a difference. I'm trying to leave this planet in a better condition than how I arrived. And imagine if everybody felt like that. I mean, imagine, because you were the one that said earlier, like, we're not living up to our potential or who we are or where we could be. And imagine if everyone took on that responsibility to figure out who you are and what you can bring to the planet and how you could make it better. Like, we could really change the world. Absolutely. And that's where I get in trouble, having these highfalutin ideas. But
I love it.
But if you don't have those ideas, then everyone gets to get off of the hook and just have fun. And I have fun too. I mean, I have a lot of fun, you know, but I don't want to just do nothing with my life.
But fun is enjoying what you're doing. Like, that's fun to you,
it's fun to me. Yeah,
so
but there's moments. That part is fun, and I love hearing the successes. But what is not always fun is constantly living in a pressure cooker. Like, that doesn't stop. And sometimes I do want that to stop, but for a moment. But when I want that to stop for a moment, it's because I feel overwhelmed because I haven't figured something out. And I'm not on top of something, so I feel overwhelmed. And the second I can just figure out how to get on the other side of that, I'm re-energized again, and I want to go. The only time I feel tired or like I want it to stop is when I've had a failed purpose. I wanted to do something and I failed, or I wanted to help somebody and I failed. Then I get tired, you know? And if I take too much time off, like I just went to Fiji. I loved Fiji and snorkeling. We did scuba. We did a lot of great things, but there was a lot of downtime. When there's downtime, I get tired. I just want to sleep. I want to take a nap. I mean, I guess that's good for the physical body, but I don't need a whole lot of that.
You don't.
I have just enough. I mean, my life isn't, I don't know. People talk about all this balance, and I don't know what they're looking for. I don't understand that question. They just want peace. Why is that question? What is that?
Yeah. I honestly, like, this is what I was going to ask you, like, what is balance? Because I personally don't know myself.
But do you want, like, why do you want it? Why are people asking that question? I have to understand that.
I think because they think we work too hard.
Who said that?
Work to them is work, physical work, mental work, probably something they don't love or they're not passionate about, right? So when I hear people say, oh, have a balance, Belinda, in life, or why do you work on weekends, and like, why are you constantly on your phone?
Do they say that?
Constantly. Constantly.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with you? Like, it's not always about work.
And
But
does
I
that
think
introvert you to then think that you need to have a balance?
sometimes, but then in the end, I'm like, but they're not really doing what they love.
That's what I was going to say.
And they're not really fulfilling their purpose in
Yeah,
life.
you're
So
challenging they have to.
I can't compare. Like, I can't. And then I'm like, no.
Yeah, they're saying more about themselves than they are you.
Absolutely.
You're making them confront their own issues in their mind, that they don't work on the weekends, that they're not passionate about something, they don't know their way in life. That,
Absolutely.
you know, so they want you to stop. And that's what I find about normal people. You know, normal people want everyone to be normal, and they want you to fit in this box. It drives me crazy. I'm not normal. I've never been normal. I've accepted the fact that I'm weird, that I have
crazy ideas.
And it's like, I just want to be around people that just understand crazy. It's not crazy. It's actually, I think it's the right way to think. I think everybody else might be a little crazy. Might not be a little taking responsibility, you know?
It's hard to find people.
It is.
And like, you know, even...
because it's easy to want to stop and quit. It's easy.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I've had that many times.
Many times.
Many times.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yes.
I could have an easy life.
I know.
An easy, you know, career, like make a certain amount of money, it'll be easy. Like, why am I putting myself in this danger every day? But it's because I love what I do.
That's what I was going to say,
And
because you love
I know my purpose, I know my mission.
Right.
And I think a lot of people
I mean, you know your self-worth and value.
Absolutely.
And you know that you not living up to your potential sells
Absolutely.
yourself short, and that's a crime against yourself and
Absolutely.
probably to humanity.
Yeah. I'm going against myself, like being rude to myself, basically.
Yeah, and you're
That's how I
being
feel.
selfish and stingy and not
Absolutely.
sharing what you know and have to the world, and you know.
And that's why we do what we do, right?
Right.
As women.
Yeah. That's why it's important to who you surround yourself with. I don't have a lot of friends.
I was just about to ask that question, how funny. Lastly, I just want to finish this off because it's so, to me, I want to know. You're clearly beautiful. You have a great mindset. You've clearly created this massive success for yourself. So for me, you don't have friends, you said.
I don't have a lot of friends. I have a lot of acquaintances. I know a lot of people. Yes.
But what's your group of friends? Is it 2? Is it 5? And what do these friends look like? Are they successful as you? Are they in line? Are they on your level? Are they people that are just have an average job and they're a teacher and they love what they do and they're passionate about, you know, children and helping children, but they're not so successful, but they're really happy. Like, what do these friends look like? Because surrounding yourself with great people makes you who you are.
Yeah, and I never associate great people with having to have a $50 million jet or money. Like, that's not what greatness is to me. Greatness is the character that is in a person and who they are and their courage and honor. Those are my friends, the people that have courage, integrity, honor, self-respect, self-discipline, know who they are. You know, I look at that. So 3 or 4 of those friends are my friends from New Orleans that I've had since I was a child, who have seen it all. We've been there, you know, we've been through it with each other since then, and, you know, we'll always have each other's back. And then I have some new friends that, you know, that might have a little more money, might be a little crazier, you know. I'm like, okay, come on, we got to work with you. I got to clean you up a little bit. But you know, the friends that I have in my life are the friends that don't expect me to get them a birthday card, but know that I will move a mountain for them if it comes to the battleground. You know, like, I'll fight for them. They're gonna know that they can trust me, that if someone comes and tries to say something or gossip or natter to me about one of my friends, that they'll get a metaphorical punch in the face. I've never punched anyone in my life. I've never been in that's right. I've never been in an actual fight in my life. I'd like to keep it that way.
Jealous.
I thought the poppy syndrome was different. I didn't know it was about this.
Yeah.
I thought the poppy syndrome was people just resent you getting successful.
Absolutely, as well. But like, as you grow as a person as well, people try to diminish you
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. No, I think that's everywhere.
She's driving that car because her husband bought it for her, or she has a
Yes.
Bugatti, or like
Yes,
if a
all of those
a
little
guy's doing
snides.
something,
Oh yeah,
if
yeah,
a
yeah.
guy's driving a Lamborghini. Oh, he bought that because he's selling drugs. Like, he doesn't
Exactly.
have a successful business, or
Right.
he lives off credit cards. So that's the mentality people have here in Australia. They're not happy for other people's success. Whereas I feel like in America, not that I'm trying to put American on a pedestal or anything, because I'm Australian, but they're just so happy for everybody's success. It's like, I want to, if they're winning, I'm winning, right? Like you said, if I'm winning, I want my friends to win.
Right.
You know, because you want to surround yourself with winners,
Right.
not losers.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So, yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, my friends are going to be happy for me, but they're also going to hold me accountable. You know,
love
they're going to
that.
put me in my place when,
If you're
not
saying
because they're
something-
jealous,
Yeah.
but because they know it's best for me to not, they don't want me being weak or wrong, or
Because I know
they
you.
want me, they
Yeah.
want me strong, and so yeah, they'll hold me accountable, you know.
And do you feel that these friends played such a big part on your life and who you are today?
I don't know if I'd say that.
Okay.
But certainly having them there has always been a
support.
stable point for me,
Okay.
you know. But no, everything that I had to go through my own. I mean, you know.
Solo? With Grant?
I mean, I've had to look. No one can make you who you are. You have to go through that your own. I discovered who I was through Grant, but Grant never gave me anything. But he gave me circumstances and situations, time and time and time again, where I had to look and reflect and figure it out and find a solution and say, you know, I have to figure out how I'm going to make this work to save my marriage. Like, what am I like? You know. Like in the beginning of our marriage, you know, he you know, okay, and you know, it's kind of wild, right? So,
He's a beast.
so
And you didn't like him.
no,
Because he was short.
and so in the beginning, I'm used to having all this attention from guys. You know, I shot guns, I had a hot rod. I mean, I can go. The list goes on
Yeah,
and on.
yeah.
I was an actress. I was a model. I've traveled
Yeah,
the world. You
yeah.
know, tear sheets. I was on
Yeah.
Maxim magazine. I don't know if you know what that was.
I knew you were already in the public eye. That's how you guys met, because you were already in the public eye. You were already.
I was on a commercial shoot when we met. Yeah.
Yeah, you were already somebody. That's what people don't realize, that you were already.
Oh, that's so funny.
But you were.
Yeah.
You were
Well, I
already in the
was
public
definitely more
eye.
famous than he was at that time.
But exactly.
Yeah.
And
But-
people don't realize that. I didn't know that until I investigated. I was like, really? This needs to be like shown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
don't know that.
No, they don't know that. I forgot what I was saying. What were we talking about?
We were talking about how you're clearly beautiful and you had a lot of men chasing you.
Oh,
and
in the beginning
how
of our
you
marriage.
started-
Okay, so I mean, without trying to sound
Yeah.
arrogant, this is
It's not
one
being
of those
arrogant,
things
it's
about
a
being a
fact.
woman
It's
that
a
is
fact.
so hard.
It's not about being
Because if I was
arrogant,
a
it's a
guy
fact.
right now, I
Yeah.
would be like, cool. But now
Yeah.
I sound like I'm a woman. I can't talk
Yeah.
about guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like how many hearts I've broken, and you know what I'm saying. You can't say that. How many guys? You know what I mean? Because girls don't talk about that. That's one of the things I hate about being a woman. It's like, God, if I was a guy right now, they'd be like, yeah, you know.
They would.
But so I come
Yeah.
from that. I've never had my heart broken from a man. I've never been broken up with. I've broken up with everyone. No guy has broken up with me. That's just my reality.
Yeah.
And so now I'm married to Grant, and I've never told him, come home, don't work, don't do this, don't do that. But I'm brand new married, and now on his recreational time, he wants to go hang out 10 houses down the street with his brother Gary, his twin brother Gary, and play Xbox. I'm not talking for an hour. I'm talking 8-9 hours, like from 4 o'clock in the afternoon to like 10, 11 o'clock at night. Like I'm going to bed alone every single night, and I'm brand new at being married. I was like, put a gun to my head right now.
God.
I'm one of these chicks I never wanted to be. Like, come spend time with me. What's the matter? I hated myself.
Yeah,
I was like, what is
yeah.
going on? I was not used to this treatment
Yeah.
from a man. Okay? I hated it. I mean, I thought I had made a very bad mistake in this marriage.
Wow.
But in order to I said, look, I have to figure this out. Like, okay, instead of, I had to look at the whole scene.
Yeah.
And I can make a choice. I'm divorcing him. This is not my guy. Or
Oh
I can
my
look at what I can do to solve this problem.
Yeah.
And I looked at what I could do. Okay, when I got married and when I got with Grant, I decided, Grant didn't tell me to do this, I decided I have to give up shooting guns. It's not appropriate for me to go hang out with my guy squad, even though I did not, it was all platonic with those guys.
Yeah.
You know, like, I just didn't think it was appropriate to be hanging out every weekend with my guys training shotguns on the weekend. So I stopped all of that.
Okay.
So then I looked at, you know, I stopped doing the things that were fulfilling and making me happy. And when I stopped doing, and I didn't replace it with anything. So I was like, now turning to Grant to fill a void in myself. Like, you need to entertain me now. You need to make me happy. Because I didn't know how to, I wasn't making myself happy. So now I'm mad at him and expecting him to give me something that, you know, and that's when I realized that is not fair to do to somebody. Whether he was right or wrong in doing that thing, it didn't matter. It wasn't fair for me to put that on another human being, that now you have to be the entertainment and of my life. And like, so that's when I went to, I said, you know what? Because I couldn't make that stop. I had talked to him, I talked to the brother, make him come home. It got worse. They were trying to mess with my head, I'm convinced. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna become an asset. I'm gonna become an asset. And that's when I was like, I used that time to work on myself, to figure myself out, my strengths, my weaknesses. How can I become an asset to the relationship? How can I learn more about real estate? How can I learn more about this, that? How can I focused on becoming an asset, not as an FU to him or, you know, but really to figure out how to enrich myself so that I didn't need it from him. And that was one thing that I've had to do over and over and over and over again with many different types of scenarios that's now led me to this place. So I say, yes, you go through something alone because it's only you that can get you to do it, but yet you're with your friends or this person or that person or this circumstance that put you in that situation to where you had to like sink or swim.
And it had taken you so long to find your weaknesses and your strengths, like how you guys align with each other.
How did it?
Like how did, you know, you mentioned a podcast, in your actual podcast actually, that it had taken you so long to find your weaknesses and your strengths and Grant's weaknesses and Grant's strengths and how you guys came together on that.
I don't remember saying it took us a long time.
Okay.
When we were figuring out our roles in the relationship, it was pretty clear. He's business. I was an artist. I knew nothing about business. I didn't know not to buy a house. I bought a house. I spent all my money. I didn't know anything about reinvesting money. I didn't know anything about making my money multiply. All that stuff I learned from Grant. I had gone through money. I had had money, lost money. I was a disaster in that area. I had never run a business.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to pretend like I have this strength in business. So it was pretty easy for us. I knew I suck at math, I suck at business, I suck at sales. Like, I will give everything away before I try to.
You're good at sales.
Oh no, I'll give it away.
Okay. Really?
Oh, they don't want me
so
touching.
Passionate.
Oh no, I should be good at sales.
You'd be so
I
good.
should be, but I want to give everything away. That's a weakness.
Okay.
That's a weakness. I know my
have it
weaknesses.
free.
That's right. I want everyone to have it because I know that I want to help and I want to give and I want everyone to improve and I want you to have it. I want you to get what I have and you know. So I have a problem like, oh, okay, that's $1,500. You know, like.
Brad's like, no, it's $10 million.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so I know what I'm good at, and I know my weaknesses, and so you know.
Cool. Is there anything else you want to touch on at all? Anything you want to talk about?
I think
you.
I'm good. You know, believe it or not, I'm a very private person.
Really?
Yeah. I do this because of my mission. I talk and stuff, but you know, when I wrote that book. How to build an empire, how to have it all.
Have it all.
In the beginning, I talk a lot about my upbringing and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't talk about everything, but I talked about a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, and some of my girlfriends from back then called me and were like, "Wow, you know, I knew all that stuff happened. They were there, but they didn't understand the agony that I was going through. I've never been a talker. I don't talk. I figure things out for myself. I don't like to be weak. I don't like talking about myself. I don't like being like, oh, don't you feel sorry for me? Like, I hate all of that, you know? So this is actually more difficult than it looks for me. So if you say, is there anything else you want to talk about? I'm like, not really. Yeah, I'm telling you that.
Yeah,
That's an insider thing
wow,
that a lot of people, I don't think, know, because we are so transparent, but it's not easy for me.
Is there anything that you've never said on camera before, or anything that Grant doesn't know about you that you can say?
But yeah, there are some things that Grant don't know.
Things.
Yeah, I mean, not lots of things.
One thing?
No.
At all?
No, I mean, nothing too crazy. I mean,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
You know, I mean, Grant probably knows everything pretty much,
Probably.
but he doesn't know the details of everything. I mean, but if he wanted to, he could. I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. But yeah, I don't need to go promote everything either.
Yeah. I just want to thank you so much, though. Like, thank you for taking the time just to sit down with me. When you messaged me back on Instagram, I was like, oh my God, is this happening?
Oh, that's so cool.
I was like, no, this is not happening.
that's
and
so
then
cool.
you sent me the email, and I was like, what?
To rock.
8
Oh,
a.m.? I was like,
okay. Awesome.
Yeah, and it happened so quickly. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Like,
You're a good interviewer.
Am I really?
Yeah, of course you are.
I'm not an interviewer. I'm a conversation
Yeah,
person.
well, that's why it was
I have
good.
conversation.
That's why it was
raw,
good.
Like, I like to have conversations more than an interviewer. But thank you so much.
You're welcome.
From the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Thanks for letting me.
You are amazing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
You surprised me at success. I was like, wow, she's amazing.
Oh, God, I love that.
Yeah.
What's up, YouTube? Thank you so much for watching the video to the end. Means the absolute world to me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. We are producing more content than ever coming in 2020. Also, please follow me on my Instagram account. I want to see you in my DMs. DM me. I would love to know what content you'd love me to produce so I can keep producing. I'm not as creative as you guys think. I need to produce more and more, especially in 2020. You guys can help me by DMing me, letting me know what you want to hear from me in 2020. Thanks, guys. Peace.